Let's talk extracurricular activities. A lot of families think that students need to be involved in everything under the sun in order to be competitive for admissions and for scholarship applications, and eventually for internships and jobs. But what if I told you that's not necessarily true? Now, with college admissions applications, extracurriculars certainly are an opportunity to really showcase what your student is involved in, what they're passionate about, and what kind of student they'll be when they get to campus. So in this video, I want to explain how to utilize extracurricular activities to really stand out when it comes to applying to colleges. And keep in mind that these suggestions are just as applicable when it comes to scholarship applications, internships, and job applications. All right, let's go ahead and begin. Hello, my name is Jocelyn Pearson, founder of the Scholarship System, where we redefine paying for college to help families build strong financial futures rather than ones that are buried in student loan debt. Since founding the Scholarship System, we've helped families secure nearly $10 million in scholarships, not to mention admissions to many, many schools that they absolutely love. And one of the things that we talk about a lot are extracurricular activities and building that resume for students so that they can turn up the heat on their applications and become more competitive. Now, I want you to click subscribe because every single week I'm giving a new strategy, not just on the admission side, but specifically focusing on paying for college so that your student does not have to take out student loan debt to pay for it. Now, throughout a student's high school career, many students choose to enroll in extracurricular activities as a way to increase their chances to get into college. Let's just be honest. Comment below and let us know, what activities does your student do? Or maybe if you think there's an activity that your student does that they're not considering putting on their admissions application or their scholarship application, comment with that below and I can let you know if it's something that I think counts as an activity. So what are colleges and scholarship committees really looking for? Really, they're looking for applicants that have meaningful extracurricular activities. So when we're talking about this, think quality, not quantity. I always say it's better to go deeper into a few than casting our net wide and broad and being surface level in many. So this is not about having a laundry list of clubs. The Common App does have enough space right now for 10 activities, but don't feel like your student needs to include and fill up all 10 of those spots. It's also ideal for a student to seem well-rounded. For example, if they are very involved in sports, we want something other than sports on there. If your student is very involved in student council, what else can they do to complement that is a little bit different? So again, look at the whole picture of your student's application and see if they look like a well-rounded student or if they just really went into just one thing, or if they went surface level into a ton of things and really don't have much to show for those involvements. The next thing, again, is they do not want more seat warmers. There's plenty of students that go to college and they just kind of do the bare minimum. They want to see people that will stand out, that will really dive in. And so this is an opportunity to show that. Just some ideas. There could be winning awards in competitions for various things. Part-time jobs. This shows that your student is responsible and can manage their time while maintaining grades and other involvements. Athletic experiences or creative experiences like theater. This shows discipline and team building skills. Any kind of leadership positions, maybe they are team captain or treasurer, or they headed a service project within one of the organizations. Maybe they are a club president, any kind of leadership experience through the organizations. Community service. This is a great way to show what your student's passionate about and how they care about others and how they can contribute to their community and what they're involved in and help others. Uncommon activities, maybe it's political activism or personal projects like starting a small business or some sort of hobby that they turned into something a little bit bigger. And then, of course, you have involvements that are aligned with their future career goals. Maybe they shadowed someone, maybe they're interning, maybe they're volunteering, maybe they're doing some sort of project for a business that is in their career field. This can also be family obligations, things like Maybe they've had to really step up and take care of their siblings, or maybe they're helping an elderly neighbor, or maybe they did something unique during COVID that was really helpful for other people and not officially something through their school organizations. So there's tons of different ways that your student can really make them look like a well-rounded applicant, but also they don't have to do one thing over the other. They can just pick a few that they're passionate about. All of these activities will absolutely make your student more competitive for scholarship money as well to help pay for college without student loan debt. So what I'm going to do is link to a free training in the description. You should also see a box somewhere on the screen here where you can register for that free training on where to find legitimate scholarships that your student can apply to. In fact, this training is how I got over 6 figures in scholarships for myself. So check out that. Again, the link will be in the description, or you can go to thescholarshipsystem.com/free webinar. Now, the other thing I want to mention is that universities do understand that a lot of activities do usually charge fees, and some students may not have the means to do some of these activities because of the membership fees, or maybe the expenses aligned with a sport or whatever it is. In that case, smaller activities are completely fine, or single day activities, things like volunteering at Special Olympics through the school, or helping with a canned food drive around the holidays, or a book drive or presents. So it does not have to be this huge expensive ordeal for families. It can definitely be something that's that's completely free and yet still makes an impact. That is just as important on an application. Again, ultimately, we want to think quality over quantity. Now, for those of you that are in the scholarship system in our online program, we actually have a student's activity tracker worksheet, and this is where you can track all of your students' awards as well as their involvements. As you should know, we recommend doing this every single semester, or at the very least at the end of each school year. So that is something that you can fill out to make sure that you're keeping track of all these amazing things that your student is doing, because a lot of times students do forget, and it might take a parent reminding them, hey, remember you did this thing? But again, it helps to just write them all down every single semester or at the end of each school year. In fact, this template is something that I personally created for myself when I was going through this process. Now, if you're not in the scholarship system, you can check out the description and learn more about our program to help families secure scholarships for college down below. Okay, so let's talk about what if your student really doesn't have much to put on there? What if they want to build their involvements? Well, this is a great opportunity. And again, remember quality over quantity. So first and foremost, I would start at passions. What is your student passionate about? Is it something that they can do, maybe a activity on their own, a project on their own, or is it something where they can join a club through the school or the university? One example that I love with this is a student, she loved watching TED Talks. Well, she realized, hey, these aren't transcribed. And she contacted the organization and said, hey, would it be okay for a volunteer activity if I transcribed your TED Talk videos? And they said, yeah, absolutely. And so this was something that actually she could just do on her own time from home during COVID. And she was learning so much by going through these videos. But that was an amazing involvement that she's able to sell to the judges for admissions as well as for scholarships. The other point I want to make here is think outside the school box. So it does not necessarily have to be an organization through the university. It can be something done on your students' own time or through their own initiative. It does not have to be a formal organization for it to count. And going off of that, same with leadership. It does not have to be a formal leadership position in order for it to display leadership skills. So if your student took initiative or started to lead some sort of project, or maybe they just stepped up in a tough situation, these are leadership experiences that can absolutely be considered on applications. Don't think just because they didn't have the title of president that they don't have any leadership. Then I want to say reconsider activities that they have done. Again, like I said earlier, sometimes students just overlook things that they've done that they don't think counts. Maybe it's babysitting, helping a neighbor, some sort of COVID involvement, anything like that. Try to think of any activities that they've done or any kind of initiative that they've taken and see if that could be something that could be sold. So going off that, parents, help your student brainstorm this. You are someone who can toot their horn usually better than they can. And so you'll probably think of things that did not even cross their minds. So overall, colleges and scholarship committees are looking for what makes your student unique. They want to see a list of activities that really showcases their passions, their involvements, their commitments, and what gets them excited and going. Getting involved in an extracurricular activity is a great way to not only sell those judges, but also to build experience and just gain knowledge that can help them in college and beyond. So we really recommend getting involved. But again, remember, it is better to be involved deeply in a few things than broadly or surface level in tons of things. Again, I do cover this in the scholarship system. If you want to learn more, register for that free training. We link to it in the description. And also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button because every single week I'm sharing a new strategy when it comes to paying for college or getting into college. I will see you in the next video.